seams will pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea dashes the fire out. I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel that had no doubts of noble creatures in her, dashed all to pieces.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee. Of thee, my dear one. Thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and I no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee further. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from me. So, lie there, my heart. Wipe down thine eyes. Have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine heart, so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much petition as an hair, pertaining to any creature in the vessel which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now no further.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came into this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can. Had I not 4 or 5 women once attended me?
Thou hadst, and more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark, backward in abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught afore thou camest here, how thou camest here, thou mayest.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, my father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
My mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter. And my father was Duke of Milan. And thou, his only heir and princess.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed whilst we did?
Both, my girl. Thy foul play, as thou sayest, will be heaved thence, but blessedly helped hither.
Please you, tell on.
My brother, and thy uncle, called Antonio, and pray me, mark me that a brother should be so perfidious. He who next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at that time it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Thy false uncle, being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to transfer overtopping, you created the creatures that were mine. Set all hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear. So now he was the ivy which had hit my princely trunk and sucked my vigour out on't. Thou attempt'st not.
Good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I thus neglecting worldly ends, or dedicated to the closeness and the bettering of my mind, in my false brother awakes an evil nature. And my trust, like a good parent, to beget of him a falsehood as great as my trust was, which indeed had no limit. Hence his ambition grew. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this party played and him he played it for, Antonio needs be the ruler of Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable, and confederates with the King of Naples to give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event, then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should seem to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. King of Naples, being an inveterate enemy to me, hearkens my brother's plan, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all its honours on my brother. Whereon a treacherous army assembled. One midnight fated to the purpose did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness the ministers of the purpose hurried out thence, me and thy crying self.
Alack, for pity! I'm not remembering how I cried out then, or cry it over again.
Here a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now's upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Thou demanded wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear they durst not, so dear the love my people bore me. In few, they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat. No rig, nor tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats instinctively acquitted, very oysters to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the wind whose pity, sighing back again, did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
No, cherubin thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven, and I had decked the sea with drops full salt, and under my burden groaned.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, being then appointed master of this design, did give us. With rich garments, linen, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have aided much. So of his gentleness, knowing I love my books, he furnished me from mine own library, with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man?
Now I arise. No, sit still. Hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here am I, thy schoolmaster, make thee more profit than other princesses can, that have more time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heaven thank thee for it. And now, I pray you, Father, for still it is beating in my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm.
Go thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness. And give it way, and though thou canst not choose. Come away, servant. Come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master. Brave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure. Be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curling clouds. To thy strong bidding, task Ariel and all her quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the Tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship. In every cabin I claimed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yard, and the bowsprit, would I flame distinctly, then meet and join.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this conflagration would not infect his reason.
Not a soul but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, was the first man that leaped, cried, "Heaven's empty and all the devils are here!"
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this near the shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they Ariel safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou faith me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air, with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, his arms in this sad wash.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship. In the deep nook where once thou calledst me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudas, there she is hid. The mariners all under hatches have I stowed, left asleep. As for the rest of the fleet, whom I dispersed, They have now met, and are upon the Mediterranean float bound sadly home from Naples, supposing they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Since thou dost give me more toil, let me remember thee what thou hast promised me, which is not yet performed me.
How now, Moody? What is thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Oh, before the time be out, no more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, made thee no mistakings, told thee no lies, served thee without grudge or grumblings, thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost.
I do not.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Algiers.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgett'st. This damn witch Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing, from Algiers thou knowest was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag Sycorax was hidden abroad with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, refusing her grand behests, she did confine thee into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain a dozen years, within which space she died and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the sun that she did litter here, a freckled whelp hag born, not honoured with a human shape.
Aye, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so. He that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl, and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, sir.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak, and beg thee in his knotty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I do?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take this shape, and hither come it. Go, hence for diligence. Awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on, we'll visit Caliban, my slave who never yields us kind answer.
The villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
Ah, but as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in office as the prophetess. Slave, Caliban, thou art thou, speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise. Fine apparition. My quaint Ariel, hearken thine ear.
Oh, my lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave! Got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
As wicked Jew as e'er my mother blushed, with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both! A southwest blow on ye and blister you all over.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps. Side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchin shall for that vast of night, that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycombs, each pinch more stinging than bees that made them.
This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and madest much of me. Would give me water with berries in it, and teach me how to name the bigger light and how the less, which burns day and night. And then I did love thee, and show thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren place, and fertile. Curse Blessed be that I did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you would stye me in this hard rock, while you do keep me from the rest of the island.
Oh, most slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. I use thee, built as thou art with human care, and locked thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honour of my child.
Would it had been done! Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Horrid slave, I pitied thee. It took pains to make thee speak.
But thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hast deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on it is I know how to curse. The red plague Richard for learning me a language.
Taxi, hence! Dash it in fuel! If thou neglectst or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with familiar cramps, fill all thy bones with ache, make thee roar, the beast shall tremble at thy king.
Pray thee no, I must obey. His art is of such power would control my damn's god Setipus, and make a servant of him.
So, slave, hence!
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsy to where you have and kissed the wild waves whist. Put it lightly here and there, and sweet sprites thy burden bear. Hark, hark.
Where should this music be? In the air or the earth? Weeping again o'er the king my father's wreck, this music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence I have followed it. Or it hath drawn me rather. But 'tis gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom 5 thy father lies. Of his bones are coral made. These are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing of him doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. See him sullenly ring his bell. Hark, now I hear them, ding dong bell.
Ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
Frigid curtains of thine eye advance. Say what thou seest, John.
What is? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No wench. It eats and sleeps and hath such senses as we have. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, and but he's something stained with grief that's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, high spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend, vouchsafe my prayer may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give on how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is, oh, you wonder, if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens, I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
How the best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes beheld the king my father wrecked.
Oh, lack for mercy.
Yes, faith, and all his lords. The Duke of Milan, his brave son, being twain.
Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee if now 'twere fit to do it. At the first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I set thee free for this. A word, good sir! I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first that e'er I sighed for. Pity move my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin, and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir. One word more. They are both in either's powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou ownest not, and just put thyself upon this island as a spy to win it from me, the Lord on't.
No, as I am a man.
Nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me, speak not you for him. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks, wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
No. I will resist such entertainment till thine enemy has more power.
Dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he is gentle and not fearful.
What I say? My foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, for I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang on to my garments.
Sir, have pity. I will be his surety.
Silence. One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Hush. Thou thinks there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban? Foolish wench. To the most of men this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
Reflections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. My nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigour in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. The wreck of my friends and all this man's threats to whom I am subdued are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid?
It works. Come, thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what thou else shalt do me.
Be of comfort. My father's of better nature, sir, than he appears by speech. This is uncommon which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly to all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come, follow. Speak not you for him.